My body, mind, and soul are already there. Love is my mountain, and I will move through her layers, savoring mystical moments, and I will climb. I will climb to the peaks and soar in love's majestic ecstasy. And there, I will know that love really is a mountain to share, spilling over with joy, cascading down like a waterfall. My mountain and I are one. Love is a mountain I climb.
You know, it took me a minute to actually even claim my own story. I came from an environment that was very, very different from the one in which I found myself when I returned to Howard University. And of course, once my aunt had shared with me about the power of thought, the more I developed it and the more I started to tell my own story, I really realized that in telling my story, I was actually empowering myself and encouraging other people to look back into their own stories. And so the power of story, first of all, let me define what I mean by story, because actually there's two aspects of story. There's story that we tell, well, once upon a time when I was 9 years old and I moved to East Africa. That's one type of story, and we all have them from the times when we grew up, etc. But also in my company and Liam, what we use in terms of story, what we primarily use and teach and advocate is that story consists of the thoughts, the beliefs, your feelings, your attitudes, and the actions that you take. All of those things, because you see, we're telling stories to ourselves all the time. We have a story about how we grew up, or a story about money, or a story about love and how it doesn't work for us. We have this self-talk, and we use story really as the foundation for what we're telling ourselves all the time. So my thought was, imagine if you now used what you wanted to see in your life and create story about that. I don't mind write it, think it, tell it, have a mental movie. Just imagine what it is you want. Write what you want. This is why I love infinity tales and fairy tales, because you can actually, nobody has to know what story you're after, but you can tell the story that you want to see in your life. And as long as you feed that, especially in the evenings, at night before you go to bed, there is so much power in what you tell yourself over and over again, and your subconscious says, oh, you like this. This is what you want. And so your subconscious mind goes to work immediately, bringing to your conscious and your physical world what it is that you are thinking about all the time. So there is a direct correlation between the power of thought and the power of story. In effect, they're one and the same, but we're able to take people kind of out of their left brain way of thinking into a more right brain way of looking at and accomplishing their goals. And it's a great tool to actually get people to get to where they want to be.